Hey YouTube, here is my deck that I've been using for the KC Cup for about the past 4 or 5 days. I've had a decent amount of fun with it. Tried some other decks like Blue Eyes, like I posted in the reels, and I got some pretty good wins. I went about, if I was being honest, due to a couple misplays, I probably went about 12 and maybe 13, but 3 of those were just me misplaying cards and forgetting my skill, or just drawing a bad hand. But I went on some pretty decent win streaks. But this one, I've probably been about 16 and 8. But here's the nitty gritty. You can read this, but basically with the first part of the skill, I can summon 2 monsters, double Disruptor Dragon with 2500 attack, 1500 defense, or I can summon Exploder Rocket Dragon, which is 2000 attack, 2000 defense, which fits the criteria for this first one. As you see, you can send 2 level 7 and higher dragons from your hand to your graveyard, and you can add 1 monster whose attack equals 4000 to your deck and hand, which will still be one of those 2. But you can't special summon anything that turn besides link monsters, which is the whole point of this deck. You're not going to get any Xyz and synchro plays if you activate that second skill. If you go, there's still some pretty good plays going turn 1. If I go turn 1, I try to get my Borreload Riot Dragon on the field to negate special summons, which with how fast this game is played, that's really what you want to do. You want to not let them get any special summon monsters on the field. If you go turn 2, which is also pretty viable, right here, if your opponent has a monster on the field, any monster, you can for free place a link to borrow monster from your extra deck to the field, which will take up 2 of the 4 link ratings needed, so you only need to get 2 more monsters on the field. Now let's kind of look at the deck list here. I know 24 cards is kind of high, but hey, so with our here's this ritual monster. This monster, unless it gets banished, it can recycle itself. So you really only need to run it at 1, unless you want to run an extra one to have it start in your hand or use itself as material for the ritual. Which, here's your ritual card, Heavy Interlock. Everybody, most people know how rituals work. If you don't, to summon a ritual monster, you need, for example, it's a level 8 ritual monster, you need 2 level 4s or a level 7 and a level 1, but you can also use 2 level 7s and those extra stars so the ritual don't penalize or help you. This one right here will be normal summon because of our skills, because it has that 4000 total points. You can tribute it, you can normal summon it due to the skill. You can tribute this and target 2 rocket monsters, which this itself, because it doesn't say rocket, isn't one, but it still goes with the archetype, which this can be summoned. I like Rocket Tracer. It's a tuner, but I don't really tune with it that much. It can destroy itself to bring someone else from the field, from the deck. And these are just to, I use Magna Rocket and Auto Rocket just to have bodies on the field. Magna Rocket has the effect, if a link monster activates its effect, which can be your level 2 monster, or if you get your Borreload out there, that you can destroy this card and send 1 monster on the field to the graveyard from either side. And then if it's in the graveyard, you can use this effect to special summon, which, as you know, if you watched the anime Yu-Gi-Oh! Link Reigns, or played this game, you know the rockets destroy themselves to special summon another monster to activate their effects. Basic back rows, quick launch that summons rocket monsters. You can, it's not once per turn, so if you pull all 3, you can get you on top of your free one. If your opponent has a monster on there, you can get 4 cards on the field like that to go into your extra deck. Dark Hole, in case someone has a big board and you want to clear it, just run 1 copy, it's not mandatory. Wing Beat of Giant Dragon. With this, with how easily these high-level dragons are recycled, this is good for clearing back row. Then I ran this field spell because you can get multiple monsters back on the field once you put different monsters in your graveyard. Mirror Forces, Mirror Force. I would like to have more of these, but I don't want to spend too much money. That returns a monster to the hand, so if someone fusion summons Rainbow Neos, Rainbow Neos goes back to your extra deck, and Neos and Rainbow Dragon stay in the graveyard. And we got Crackdown. Crackdown steals a monster, it can't attack. You can use it for synchros, Xyz, or whatever if it fits your deck. There's the main deck. Here's your extra deck. Cyberse Quantum. The skill only works well with dark Cyberse or dark dragon monsters, which this is a dark Cyberse. If you control a link monster, your opponent cannot target monsters you control for attack except for this one, so it's a meat shield. Borreload Sword cannot be destroyed by battle, so if you put this mode, it just can't be destroyed by battle. Can't put in defense mode because it's a link monster and they don't have defense points, they just have a link rating. It can attack twice, and it can gain attack equal to that monster's current attack, like what's it called, like Crystal Wing Dragon, that synchro card. Then you have the one from the show, Borreload Dragon. It can negate an effect that targets it, and when you go to attack, you can choose to steal your opponent's monster, put it on your side of the field, and by the end of the turn, it gets sent to the graveyard. And I put some other Borreload monsters in there. This right here, Quad Borreload Dragon, is the one that gets set to the field immediately. Notice it has a link 2. So if you use your skill and show this card, send this card to the graveyard, and send this card to the graveyard. Once it's in the graveyard, you can add Heavy Interlock to your hand. And this card has an effect where if you can send another card to the graveyard, you can add it to your hand, no matter how many times it's in the graveyard, so it recycles itself. You can only activate the effect once per turn, but again, you could very easily get your Heavy Interlock on the field if you want to play that turn 1. So I'm going to show you a replay, so this video isn't forever long. Just wanted to explain how I use the Borreload deck in this KC Cup and had some fun with it. Comment below if you think this deck is horrible, if you think it's good, or you got some recommendations. I'd love to hear them. I don't feel like posting a 25-minute video, so like I said, here's gonna be just an example of me using this deck. Here we go. I think I just forgot who I played against. We're gonna see. Going against someone using Yugi. And a little win streak I leveled up after this. I used the Fusion Dark Rays skill. I went turn 1. Let's see this play. I activated the skill spell. I set my evac. Use my skill, set my cards to the graveyard. Here's your double disruptor. Use the double disruptor in the graveyard to send my ritual card to my hand. Use my field spell to get this back out here. And now I've ended my turn. Playing 2 back rows. Oh, you have the live twin cards. So I waited till they got their second card out. I can use my evac to disrupt their link summon, returning that card to the hand. Had to end their turn. As you can see, I got 2 level 5 or highers out there. So I used my Link Beater Giant Dragon. Notice I haven't used a normal summon, so I can resummon if they get rid of my card. They Book of Moon me too early. They had to, I was getting rid of it. Summon this card, activate my skill, plus 2. I currently have a link rating of 3. Rating of 4. Discarded a card. Popped the Exploder Rocket. We both took burn damage. But I tributed that card, my Quad Borreload Dragon, to bring back that Exploder Rocket I just got rid of. Auto rocket that I put in the graveyard earlier. That gives me a link rating of 4. Boss monster for this deck. Negate the card's effect. Make that card 0 points. Crash into it. Took 3k damage. Stand to a turn. Air Force's Insurance. Activate one of the effects to place it in one of the zones the link arrow points to. I was kind of nervous because the 4 cards in here set up a pretty nice turn. Sent that card to the graveyard so it can bring out its Unchained. Summon my Magma Rocket. I activated my effect, which activates this card's effect to destroy a monster on the field on the side. I took a gamble. See, there was a way to use Borreload Dragon deck. If you have the materials for it, give it a try. That's all for the video.